Hi guys, this is Vidas.
And Ausra.
Let's start episode 166 of Ask Vidas and Ausra podcast. This question was sent by David and he writes, Dear Vidas and Ausra, at the churches where I play, the organists have to play 2 or 3 hymns every Sunday, plus a prelude, postlude, offertory and doxology, the old 100. And sometimes accompany a choir anthem as well. That is between 6 and 8 pieces every week. Do you have any suggestions how to handle that quantity of music? Especially the prelude, postlude and offertory. Thank you. That's a lot of music, right? Every Sunday.
Yes, but that's life of parish organist. That's what we did when we worked at church.
Do you remember the time when you first started playing in church?
Yes,
in Vilnius?
I remember it was the second year of my organ study at the Academy of Music. I started to work at church.
Did you have to play the hymns only or also some organ music?
Well, I had to play both.
Mm-hmm.
Plus, because it was a Catholic church, we had lots of other stuff going on, playing such things like as litanies, for example, and psalms, and so on and so forth.
And the masses were not only on Sundays but every day.
Yes, every day, and we had that, Saint Sacrament adoration of a Holy Sacrament. So also every day. And this was sort of a little bit of nonsense because we would have to play two hymns at the beginning of it and then 2 at the end of it, and all adoration lasted for like an hour, and the church was unheated and it was horrible. To spend those 50 minutes in a cold church between 2 hymns and
doing nothing.
Yes, I know it's impossible to pray when it's so cold, at least for me.
Is it? Sometimes if you pray very hard, you can heat up the area around you.
Well, I can't. Maybe you can.
I tried and nothing happened.
I know. But in terms of, my starting playing at church, of course, at that time, pedaling was still challenging. But for me, the biggest challenge was, to follow that liturgy. Because in Catholic churches, we have those, sung answers, and each priest sings a little bit different in different key, and you have to catch up. And some priests are so badly musically educated that we cannot keep the tune, and we modulate like a few times, and you never know on which key he will end up. So all this gave me such a big stress.
How did you handle the stress then?
Well, little by little, I learned everything.
We have a saying, like a dog which is being led to the what is this word?
Hanging.
Yes, to hanging, and this dog basically gets used to that.
Yes.
Little by little.
I don't think it makes sense in English.
Probably not. Maybe they have a better expression.
I'm sure of it. There are so many idioms in English. So, let's go back then to the question. Well, I received such a good school in the Catholic Church that later on, while playing in the Christian Scientist Church in the States, and also for Lutheran Church in the States, it seemed so easy and so nice. But in terms of selecting the right repertoire, I think this is the very important thing for David and for other church organists. At least if you don't have, very good technique, very advanced technique, it's better to choose easier pieces for your prelude, postlude offering. And for those hymns, because of course, if you are new in church, so each Sunday it seems like new hymns are sung, and you have to learn how to play the new hymns. But after a while, we sort of repeats themselves. So
So after 1, 2, or 3 years.
yes, that's true. And even actually sooner, because some of the most favorite hymns are repeated quite oftenly, as for example doxology.
Well, yes, my own church playing experience started early on when my mom and I went to the church nearby where we had this summer cottage. That was where her parents lived at the time, and this was a wooden church, and it had an antique 19th century organ by anonymous organ builder, and my mom asked the priest to let me play because I was studying at the music school at the time. Maybe it was like a 6th grade, I think, and I started playing excerpts of my choir repertoire from school. I sang a soprano part, and little by little I sort of harmonized those excerpts without even knowing anything about the chords. And actually, at that time, I started to remember how my friends were fooling around during recess or intermissions between the classes. They were sort of improvising and playing popular melodies, but adding on the spot accompaniment with the left hand. So I started doing that myself
In church.
in church, and it wasn't so bad actually.
Did you do that during service or
just for fun for me? Yes, and then the priest heard, and they didn't have a local organist that Sunday or any other Sunday, I guess. And he asked me to come and play, and it was a very solemn occasion. I think the golden wedding anniversary of some couple, and I foolishly agreed in 6th grade to play a wedding and a mass also. And I remember that the priest let me to come and practice during the weekdays of that week, preparing for this wedding and mass. And I found the hymnal handwritten scores, and I tried to practice those hymns, selecting the repertoire as I thought it would work. And then when the time came, I missed the Sanctus part.
Actually, it's hard to know when to start it.
Mhm.
Because if you don't know the Catholic Mass, there is that moment when priest tells his prayers, and after that he sort of has to close his arms to put his hands together in front of him, and that's the sign for you to begin Sanctus. And sometimes from the organ loft it's very hard to see when he is doing this, so you can easily miss it.
So he started saying the Sanctus instead of playing. And then after he said the Sanctus, I started playing.
That's funny.
Yeah.
You
But
usually don't do it twice.
yeah, but he was actually happy with that mass, considering my age probably and inexperience. So that was my beginning.
That's nice. I remember, when I started to work at that church in Vilnius, Holy Cross Church. It was probably my third or fourth mass that I had to play, and actually it was a cardinal who had to lead the service, and it was so scary. I mean, I was freaking out, and I think I missed something. or started to play something in the wrong spot. So
What was scarier, the cardinal on that occasion, or myself coming occasionally to your organ loft?
well, neither you nor the cardinal. The scariest part in that church was those elderly ladies who are sort of so devoted to the church that we spend the whole day, each day in the church, and we sort of searching for the trouble. And we always complains about everything that you are doing, that everything is wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Tempo is wrong, and you dress not inappropriate or whatever, or you didn't make the sign of cross in the right moment. So that was the scariest part for me.
And that ended my career in that church.
Yes, I remember that old lady chasing you, throughout the downtown of Vilnius.
So, Oja, is there a shortcut that David could take in order to facilitate his liturgical playing and advance faster and make the life easier for him?
Well, yes and no, because still you will have to overcome all those obstacles and all those difficulties. But to help yourself, just select the easy organ music at the beginning. Maybe less pedal stuff, and then later on you will catch up and will start to play harder things. Maybe if you are playing, I don't know, if you have like regular Sunday service, or you have like festival, for example Easter or Christmas, then of course you maybe have to play more sophisticated organ music.
But that's only several times per year.
Yes, so but for other Sundays you can just pick up something easier, because if you will play easy music, well, it will still sound fine. But if you will pick up pieces that are too hard for you to play, and you will make lots of mistakes, for example, or you keep unsteady tempo, then everybody will notice it, and nobody will appreciate that you're playing hard stuff. The most important thing is to play right.
And probably what you're saying is you will not get a medal for playing advanced music.
Yes, I
right?
guess so.
Nobody
Yes.
will appreciate that.
Well, yes and no. You never know.
I mean, you could play advanced repertoire when you're ready.
Yes.
Right? But for now, as Osha says, probably it's better to focus on manuals only pieces and occasional pedal parts, maybe long sustained pedal points, which would make your life so much easier. And sight read as much as you can.
Yes, this will help you to improve with time. And when playing hymns, the most important thing is to keep a steady tempo, especially if your congregation sings together with your playing.
I would say three things here, which helped me, and maybe it will help David. Sight read as much as you can, play harmony exercises as much as you can, and improvise as much as you can. And over time, maybe in a few months even, you will notice considerable improvement. Right?
Of course, yes.
And if you do this every day, after 1 year, your organ playing skill will be completely changed.
Yes, and you can even sight read from a hymnal, for example, from your hymnal of your church. It will help you later on, while playing hymns.
Okay, guys, so we hope this was useful to you. Please apply our tips in your practice and send us more of your questions. We love helping you grow. This was Vidas.
And Osha,
And remember, when you practice,
miracles happen.